Okay, let me give you a little bit of my opinion on why the Wii and the Wii U are failing. Probably the least of the reason is the power of both systems. And that's stupid shit. The reason Nintendo's consoles have been coming in last place, especially with the Wii and Wii U, but somewhat with the GameCube, pretty much it has to do with the fact that it is geared towards kids. And kids, they don't buy their own games, either for the fact that A, they don't have money, or B, they're not old enough to pay for the games, or buy the games, period. They could have $1 million, $1 billion, they wouldn't be legally allowed to buy the game. So, and bottom line, Nintendo consoles are failing because they don't have a Grand Theft Auto. Okay, let me give you a little backstory on Nintendo in case some of you are too young to realize. This is my perspective of why it's failing. Nintendo's past success was based on the fact that they had all the releases. They had all the violence, they had all the gunfight, they had all of it. And Nintendo was pretty much had a foothold on the gaming industry probably since the NES came out, maybe a year or two afterwards. It was ingrained. Like, Nintendo's a household word now. That's because you're speaking of, the games. I mean, the games that people knew. And they had everything. There was nowhere else to go. You had Nintendo. You had Sega. Pretty much after that, that was it. In 99% of gamers' minds. The whole okay. Grand Theft Auto is a pivot point. Not a pivot point. It is a gold standard, not for the game itself, but for a console. If your console is good enough to have a Grand Theft Auto, that means you'll have the teenagers, you'll have the young adults, you'll have the older adults, and you'll have everybody. Pretty much, and kids. And Nintendo consoles don't have any games that are geared towards adults, period. And no Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, none of that's geared towards adults. It's not. Go on Live, go on PlayStation Network. What do you have? I joined a Grand Theft Auto race, and I heard it sounded like not even a 6-7-year-old kid. He was the host. No. I passed on that one, by the way. And bottom line, Nintendo needs to get back into the market of gaming. They're trying this niche market of stupid ass of family gaming. No. Gaming's roots were sitting there by yourself, playing a video game, beating the fuck out of it, replaying it, beating the fuck out of it, jerking off, eating, or maybe not in that order, and then going back to the games. That was gaming. They're trying this community shit? No. Look, bottom line is, Grand Theft Auto is the pinnacle of gaming. If your console does not have a Grand Theft Auto, it's not going nowhere. Now, you can sit here and tell me, well, I like Zelda. Yeah, you're probably the sons of bitches that fantasize of putting pointy ears on and going to Comic-Con. No. Real gamers don't go to Comic-Con. Geek gamers go to Comic-Con. Overly obsessed gamers go to Comic-Con. And you can tell me, oh, well, you're jealous. I don't want to go to Comic-Con. But look, the point is, you need to understand Nintendo. If anything, this is a message to Nintendo. The Wii was severely underpowered. But it also could have had the ports of Vice City, San Andreas, possibly. And of course, the first Grand Theft Auto in modern times. You can't have kids are very flaky. They will stop playing games for a long time, and that's it. And as long as they ain't asking for the games, the parents ain't going to buy them. So, bottom line, if the Wii U is to survive, it has to have a current Grand Theft Auto. And I don't mean San Andreas and below. I mean it has to have a port of at least GTA 4. Otherwise, it's never going to win. It's never going to even compete. No one in... Okay, if you like Mario, and you like the Zelda, and you like the Fruit and Snoof, I don't know what the fuck it is, these IPs are nowadays. Me, when I was 10, 11, 12, I remember one of my first gaming memories is Puss in Boots. And even that game, pew pew, you shot. The best memory I remember is first playing a PlayStation 1 game called Road Rash. And the first time I sat back and played that game, and I was running over, I heard a grandma, like, that's what she sounded like. There's a, I literally laid back, oh yeah. I laid back in the bed and went, oh yes. Plain and simple, games are violence. Games are murder, games are killing. And GTA is not a racing game. It's a murder simulator. And it's a crime simulator, period. And if you don't like it, why are you looking up game videos? That is what the fuck gaming is. That's always what it... Back when you were young, think about it. What was the one thing was one of the biggest controversies of that people wanted, and Nintendo took it out, and people started bitching and pissing at Nintendo for it? The blood in Mortal Kombat. Gaming, the most innocent game you can think of. Super Mario Brothers, the very first version. What was it about? Sneaking underneath a duck and kicking the bitch. Asteroids, shooting things. Super Mario Brothers, the NES game. The most popular video game in the world, pretty much. What was it about? Stomping on shit and then throwing a turtle into lava. And then getting some from the princess. Games are about violence. People want to kill. One of the biggest things I read during the time prior to the release, right up until the release of Grand Theft Auto 5, was the fact that you seen a dog and you could kill Chop. There was dogs. I read something about killable children. The bottom line is, people need to be desensitized. What's the benefit of having all these non-violent games? You're geared towards children. You're geared towards preteens. You're aiming your console, your IPs, your entire fucking life at somebody who can't pronounce onomatopoeia, who couldn't spell Mississippi if his life, her life, depended upon it. You need a Grand Theft Auto. You need to get off this kid shit. Kids are not the gaming industry. One of the most pitiful excuses for a time waster game, World of Warcraft, is nothing more than a platform for people to pretend that they can be what they want to be and be treated as such. No. Bottom line, online gameplay is not for real gamers. It is for people who have nothing fucking better to do. When you sit down at a video game console, you want to play a game. You don't want to talk to people. If you want to talk to people, you go out your front door, go to the right side, knock on your neighbor's door, ask for a cup of sugar. Hey, how you doing? No. When I first started playing video games, I was born in 1984, and my first video game console I ever played was a Nintendo NES. Then I got into the, I dabbled with the Atari 2600, 2600, and I had I got it. I played on a 5200 at least, I know. And then Super Nintendo, then Sega Genesis, and Sega CD, and had pretty much every major console there was. And then gaming was, Crash Bandicoot was alright. I played a lot, yeah. But then came Driver. Now, you think about this. Every game, every IP, every franchise that's had a pivotal role in steering gaming has been violent. I don't like the Wii. I don't like the Wii U. I would love to see Nintendo fail. Because companies who don't try to do what people want don't need to be in the industries they're in. Now, I'm going to get a lot of bullshit on this in the comments. And I would simply disable comments. But that's not the point of this. The point is, I'm getting my point across. You can speak yours. I will delete any pro-Nintendo comments. Period. You can place them. I won't read them. This is a message of death. Nintendo has fucked up. They failed with the Wii. There's a joke that I've heard that Nintendo must be digging its own grave because their console primarily went into retirement homes and nurseries. The Wii U needs to get a back port of GTA 4. If GTA 5 comes to PC and it skips the Wii U, goodbye, Nintendo. Because the only way Nintendo is going to catch up is if they release another console and isolate the Wii U purchasers. Or they take a hit and offer trade-ins on the Wii U's for about the same price they paid for it, which will be pretty much transferring your fan base from your console installed, your installed console base from one platform to another and taking a hit along the way, so at least doubling the amount of time you have to wait before you start getting a profit coming in on your systems. So I've read that Nintendo and Microsoft, Sony and Microsoft both got pissed off and sick of that shit, and they're making a penny or two on the consoles now. And what the hell they're gonna do? That's the only way. Or they petition. Most Wii users, every adult, every Wii user, every Wii U, great name, Wii U user. Yeah, no, that's how they speak, not us. Though every single Wii U owner that is an adult that has played Grand Theft Auto, but even if they're still too pussy and too ashamed to even, I don't like Grand Theft Auto, that's okay. If you saw GTA 5 V in that box, sitting on that goddamn shelf with a price tag, and you saw it right there, and it said Wii U Grand Theft Auto 5. Do you know how many people would step on each other to buy that? Probably a lot. Because that control pad would be awesome. It's big. It's got this, and it's got the screen and the touchscreen you could change. Point blank, Nintendo's got a good console, but they are too scared to put their asses on the line with parents. What they need to do is tell parents to go fuck themselves. And they need to get back into the game market they were in with Super Nintendo. The last time I've ever heard of Grand Theft Auto on a home console was pretty much with the Game Boy Advance adapter for the GameCube, which didn't count. That's the reason Nintendo's been back. And I've drone on here, and plain and simple, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But the bottom line is, no matter what your comments are, Nintendo needs to get away from the children. There is a reason why Nintendo has been getting its ass kicked by Microsoft, someone who we never thought would be in the fucking industry, and Sony, someone who about 20 years ago, 18, 19 years ago, we thought made the best TVs, but, you know, that's it. Someone who's been in the game industry since 1976 or 77 when they released that Pong console. Speaking of that, someone who's been in that for fucking, I don't know, 40, 50 years? Wait, yeah, 70, yeah. 40, 50 years they've been making electronics and shit like that. Microsoft has been in it for what? 12? Hello? No, not even 12. They've been in this shit for I don't know how long. And they're kicking the shit out of them. Why? There is a reason for it. There is a reason for it. There's a reason for everything, good or bad. Plain and simple. The reason is children. That is whom Nintendo's focusing on. You need a Grand Theft Auto. No, not Saints Row. No, you need to get as violent and as adult as you can get. People are already watching porn on the Wii U. Give it up. Grand Theft Auto 5. Wii U. Out whenever the hell Nintendo wakes the fuck up. Look for it on store shelves. Or be prepared to see Zelda on PlayStation 5.